The Vaxith fleet dropped out of faster-than-light travel like a swarm of locusts. 2,000 warships surrounded the Sol system. They were beautiful and terrible. Their hulls gleamed in the starlight. Their weapons could destroy worlds. In the center floated the stellar pyre. It was 10 times larger than any other ship. A massive sphere covered in weapons and armor. Inside was the device that could kill a star. Overlord Threx stood on the bridge of his command ship. He was old for a Vaxith. His scales were dark with age. He had crushed 100 rebellions. This would be easy. Broadcast on all channels, he ordered. His message went out to every ship, every station, every receiver in the system. Slaves of Sol, you have harbored terrorists. You have allowed the phantoms to hide among you. For this crime, your son will die. You have 24 hours to surrender the phantoms. If you do not, your entire system will burn. On Earth, billions heard the message. They looked at the sky, at the massive fleet that had come to kill them. Many were afraid. Some were hopeless, but some were angry. Bowman stood in the mining complex where he worked. Around him, other successors waited. You all heard, he said quietly. They're going to kill us, all of us, unless we give up the first humans. We should surrender them, a guard said. A Vaxith guard. He had worked there for years. He thought the successors were too weak to fight. Bowman looked at him. No, the guard laughed. You're slaves. You don't say no. Watch me. Bowman pulled out a mining laser, modified, weaponized. He shot the guard. The Vaxith fell, screaming. Other successors stared in shock. They had never seen one of their own commit violence. It hurts, Bowman said. His whole body shook with genetic pain. It hurts so much. But you know what hurts more? Dying as a slave, he raised the weapon high. The first humans came back for us. They're going to die fighting for us. Are we going to let them die alone? No. The answer came from thousands of throats. All across Earth, the rebellion began. Successors rose up. They grabbed weapons. They fought their guards. The genetic pain was terrible. Many collapsed, many died. But they fought anyway. In space, Admiral Taeyang watched the Vaxith fleet. 24 hours, he said. They're giving us 24 hours to surrender. What do we do, sir? Fury asked. We attack. Now, before they're ready. Sir, they outnumber us. I know the odds, Captain. But if we wait, they'll have time to organize. Time to deploy the stellar pyre. We hit them now while they're spread out. He activated fleet communications. All ships, this is Admiral Taeyang. The enemy thinks we'll surrender. They think we'll run. Let's show them what humans do when we're cornered. All ships, attack! 47 human warships burst from their hiding places. They moved faster than the Vaxith expected. Engineer Nari's overcharged engines made them quick and deadly. Lieutenant Deho led the fighter wing. 200 small ships against 2,000 large ones. Stay in formation. Hit the command ships first. The fighters dove into the Vaxith fleet like angry wasps. Their weapons were small, but they were fast, so fast. They dodged between the big warships, firing constantly. The Vaxith tried to respond. Their weapons tracked, fired. But the human fighters were already gone. Already somewhere else. They're too fast. A Vaxith gunner shouted. Then shoot more, his commander ordered. The Eternal Horizon led the main attack. Taeyang's flagship crashed into the Vaxith line like a hammer. Its hybrid shields absorbed the first wave of fire. Its weapons tore through enemy hulls. Target their engines, Hayori shouted. Cripple them. The fleet followed. Each ship knew its role. They had practiced this. Wargamed it. They moved like dancers. Like predators, the Vaxith fleet started to respond. They were bigger, stronger. They had more ships, but they were slow. Their command structure was rigid. They waited for orders. The humans didn't wait. They improvised, adapted, moved. This isn't possible, Overlord Threx said. He watched his fleet struggle against fewer than 50 ships. They're using ancient technology. We should be crushing them. Sir, they're better pilots, his tactical officer said nervously. Better pilots don't matter when you're outnumbered 40-1. But they did matter. The human ships moved with purpose, with rage, with desperate skill. They targeted the Vaxith command ships first, disrupting communications, creating chaos. Hanno coordinated everything. She tracked every ship, every weapon, every target. She fed information to the pilots faster than the Vaxith computers could process. Target acquired, she told Deho. 3 degrees port. Fire now. Deho fired. A Vaxith cruiser exploded. Next target, 6 degrees starboard. Fire in 3 seconds, Deho fired. Another kill. The AI was making them impossibly effective. Every shot counted. Every move was perfect, but perfect wasn't enough. The Vaxith were adapting. Learning. They started to surround the human ships, to trap them. "We're losing ships," Commander Jisoo reported. 5 destroyers are gone. 2 cruisers are damaged. "Keep fighting," Taeyang ordered. On Earth, the rebellion spread. Successors fought in the streets, in the mines, in the factories. They were dying. The genetic pain was horrible. But they fought. Jinwoo led a group of fighters. They had captured a Vaxith armory. Now they had real weapons. "Push forward," he screamed. His body hurt everywhere. Every cell screamed at him to stop. To be peaceful, he ignored it. He kept fighting. Above them, civilian successor ships joined the battle. Transports, mining vessels, ships never meant for war. They rammed Vaxith warships. They exploded, they died. But they fought. "Admiral, civilian ships are attacking," Hiyori said in shock. Taeyang watched. Hundreds of successor ships were throwing themselves at the enemy. They had no weapons, no shields, just courage. "They're sacrificing themselves," Jisoo whispered. "No," Taeyang said. "They're buying us time. Don't waste it. All ships, push for the stellar pyre." The human fleet drove toward the Sun Killer. It was the key. If they could destroy it, Earth would survive. Even if the fleet died, Earth would survive. But the stellar pyre was too well defended. Hundreds of Vaxith ships surrounded it. Their shields were perfect. Their weapons were everywhere. "We can't break through," Hiyori said. "Then we'll make a hole," Taeyang replied. He looked at his crew. His people. They had served with him for years. Good people. "Captain Hiyori, evacuate the ship." "Sir?" "Get everyone to the escape pods now." "What are you planning?" "Hanul, calculate a ramming course. Maximum speed." "Admiral, no," Hiyori said. "That's an order, Captain. Get my crew to safety." Hiyori stared at him. Then she understood. "Sir, I'm staying." "Captain, with respect, sir, shut up. I'm the ship's captain. This is my ship. I'm staying." Around the bridge, no one moved. "We're all staying, sir," Jisoo said quietly. Taeyang looked at them. He wanted to argue, to order them away. But he saw their faces. They had made their choice, then let's make it count. "Hanul, best ramming speed." "Calculated, Admiral." "But sir, I should tell you something." "What?" "It's been an honor serving with you. All of you. I know I'm just a program, but you made me feel real." "You are real, Hanul," Taeyang said gently. "You're as real as any of us." The eternal horizon turned. Its engines burned at maximum. It accelerated toward the stellar pyre. The Vaxith fleet saw it coming. They fired everything, missiles, lasers, plasma bolts. The eternal horizon's shields flared, failed. The hull took damage. "Fires broke out, keep going," Taeyang ordered. The ship kept going. On the other human ships, everyone watched. "The Admiral is making a suicide run," someone said. "Then we support him," Captain Minseo replied. "All ships cover the eternal horizon. Give them a clear path." The fleet formed up. They threw themselves at the Vaxith defensive line. They died. But they opened a hole the eternal horizon flew through. Its hull was burning. Half its crew was dead, but it kept going. 5 seconds to impact, Hanul said. Her voice was calm. 4, 3, 2, 1. The flagship hit the stellar pyre at full speed. The explosion was beautiful, terrible. It lit up the solar system like a new sun. The stellar pyre died. The sun killer weapon died with it. Overlord Threx watched in horror. Impossible. They sacrificed their flagship, their admiral. For what? For hope. For Earth. For humanity. The Vaxith fleet was confused. Their primary weapon was destroyed. Their defensive formation was broken. They looked for orders. Hanul had uploaded herself to the rest of the fleet before the eternal horizon died. Now she struck. She had studied the Vaxith communications, found the back doors. She sent a virus through their network. Vaxith ships started firing on each other. Their computers went crazy. Their weapons locked. Their shields failed. What's happening? Threx screamed. The phantoms, his officer whispered. They're in our systems. They're ghosts in our machines. The human fleet pressed the attack. Without their admiral, they fought even harder. For Taeyang, for Hiyori, for everyone who had died. Major Soren led boarding parties. His Marines and successor fighters stormed enemy ships. Close combat, brutal, bloody, but effective, they captured ship after ship, turned Vaxith weapons against Vaxith targets. The battle raged for hours. Ships burned. People died. On both sides. But slowly, impossibly, the humans were winning. Threx saw his fleet breaking. All ships retreat. Retreat! But it was too late. The human fleet had them surrounded. The successor rebellion had captured the orbital stations. There was nowhere to run. Lieutenant Diho caught Threx's command ship. "This is for Earth," he said. He fired. Captain Minseo looked at the alien sitting across from her. His name was Ravik. He was tall and thin with gray skin and 4 arms. His species was called the Karathi. They had been slaves of the Vaxith Empire for 50,000 years. "You want us to fight with you?" Ravik asked. His voice was musical, like singing. "Yes," Minseo said simply. "Against 2,000 Vaxith warships?" "Yes." "You're insane." Minseo smiled. "Probably, but we're going to fight anyway. We thought you might want revenge." Ravik was quiet for a long time. The Karathi had once been a great civilization. They built beautiful cities. They made art and music. Then the Vaxith came. Now they were slaves like the successors, working, suffering, dying. "What do you offer?" Ravik finally asked. "Freedom. And a chance to hit back. You can't win." "Maybe not, but we can hurt them. We can make them bleed. Isn't that worth something?" Ravik's 4 hands moved in a gesture Minseo didn't understand. Then he said, "The Karathi remember freedom. We'll fight. Even if we die, we'll die as free beings." Minseo shook his hand. Hands. All 4 of them. Back on Earth, Elder Jiwan gathered the young ones. She was 400 years old. The oldest living successor. Her skin was pale white with age. Her eyes were cloudy, but her mind was still sharp. "I will tell you the true story," she said. "The story the Vaxith tried to make us forget." The young successors sat around her. They had grown up as slaves. They knew nothing else. "The first humans were not gods," Jiwan began. "They were people. Flawed people. They were dying from a terrible sickness. So they made us. They gave us their strength, their intelligence, their memories. Everything good about humanity they put into us." "What about the bad parts?" a young one asked. "They removed them. They took away violence, aggression, the ability to hate. They thought they were making us better. They thought peace was always good. But it wasn't," another said. "No," Jiwan agreed. "Peace is beautiful. But you cannot have peace with those who only understand violence. The first humans learned this too late. They died, and we were left alone, peaceful and helpless." "Until the Vaxith came," said Bowman. He had been listening from the doorway. "Yes," Jiwan said. "They came with weapons and chains. We tried to talk. We tried to negotiate. They just laughed. We've been slaves ever since. But now the first humans are back," Bowman said. "Different first humans from before, and they know how to fight. They're going to die for us," a young successor said quietly. "Yes," Jiwan said. "They're going to die, unless we help them." On the eternal horizon, Commander Jisoo worked late into the night. She was analyzing every piece of intelligence about the Vaxith fleet. Looking for weaknesses, patterns, anything useful. "Commander, you should sleep," Hunnell's voice said softly. "Can't sleep. Too much work. You've been awake for 38 hours. I'll sleep when we win." Jisoo rubbed her eyes. "Or when I'm dead. Those aren't the only options." Jisoo laughed without humor. "Yes, they are." Hunnell's hologram appeared. "I've found something. The Stellar Pyre, the Sun Killer weapon. It's heavily shielded. Our weapons probably can't penetrate the shields. Probably. There's a 97% chance our weapons will fail. What about the other 3%? If we ram the ship, a direct collision at full speed. That would work." Jisoo stared at the AI. "That's suicide." "Yes," Hunnell said gently. "I know. Dr. Minho called an emergency meeting with Admiral Tai Yang. Sir, I have an idea. It's insane. It probably won't work, and it might kill us all." "Tell me," Tai Yang said. "Our ships have experimental quantum tunneling drives. We've never used them because they're unstable. But in theory, they could create a wormhole. A wormhole to where? Anywhere. We could evacuate Earth, send the successors somewhere safe, far from the Vaxith Empire." Taeyang thought about it. "How many people could we save?" "At best, maybe a few million, if nothing goes wrong. There are 8 billion successors in this system alone." "I know, sir, but a few million is better than none." "No," Taeyang said firmly. Sir, if we evacuate some, the Vaxith will kill the rest. All 8 billion. We can't save some and abandon the others. It's all or nothing. Minho nodded slowly. Then we fight. Then we fight. Major Soren gathered his Marines. 300 men and women, plus 2,000 successor volunteers. They all knew the plan. Board enemy ships during the battle. Capture them from the inside. Use the Vaxith ships against the Vaxith fleet. It's going to be bloody, Soren told them. Close combat. No retreat. You board a ship, you take it, or you die trying. Yes, sir, they said as one. A young successor raised his hand. His name was Jinwoo. Major, I have a question. Go ahead. The genetic pain. When we fight, it hurts. Really hurts. Some of us pass out from the pain. How do we fight through that? Soren looked at him seriously. You think about why you're fighting. You think about your people in chains. You think about Earth dying. And you decide that the pain doesn't matter. Nothing matters except winning. Jinwoo nodded. I can do that. Good. Because I need you to. Engineer Nari completed her final report. Admiral, all ships are upgraded. Shields are at maximum efficiency. Weapons are calibrated. Engines are running at 110%. 110? Taeyang asked. Yes, sir. I overcharged them. They'll burn out after a few hours of combat. But for those few hours we'll be fast. How fast? Nari smiled. Fast enough to surprise them. Lieutenant Daeho and the other pilots prepared their fighters. Small, quick ships that could dodge between the big warships. Their job was to harass and distract. Draw enemy fire. Create chaos. We're flying antiques against modern ships, one pilot said nervously. Yeah, Daeho agreed. But we're better pilots. And our antiques have better engines. We'll be fine. You really believe that? No. But I'm going to pretend I do. On Vaxit Prime, on the other side of the galaxy, the central network hummed with activity. Every Vaxith commander was connected to it. Every ship. Every station. Information flowed instantly across 40,000 star systems. The network was the Empire's greatest strength. And its greatest weakness. Hanuel studied the network constantly. She probed its defenses. Looked for backdoors. Planned her attack. When the time came, she would be ready. 48 hours before the battle, Admiral Taeyang called one final meeting. All senior officers, all ship captains, Bauman and the successor leaders, Ravik and the Karathi representatives. This is it, Taeyang said. In 2 days the Vaxith fleet arrives. 2,000 ships against our 47, plus a few hundred successor civilian ships with improvised weapons, plus some Karathi support. We're outnumbered 100 to 1, someone said. Yes, but we have advantages. We have better technology in key areas. We have surprise. We have desperation. And we have something they don't. What's that, sir? Hiyori asked. We have something worth dying for. They're fighting for an empire. We're fighting for survival, for family, for the future. That makes us dangerous. He looked around the room. I won't order anyone to fight. If you want to leave, leave now, no shame. No judgment, nobody moved. All right then, Taeyang said. Let's talk strategy. They planned through the night. Every ship had a role. Every person had a task. They wargamed every scenario. Most ended in defeat, but some ended in victory. Small victories. Partial victories may be enough. On Earth, 8 billion successors watched the sky. They knew the battle was coming. Bowman had spread the word. The first humans were returning. The ghosts were real. In secret, they prepared. They made weapons from mining tools. They organized into groups. They waited for the signal. The Vaxith guards noticed nothing. Successors were peaceful, docile. They never fought back. That was about to change. 24 hours before the battle, Taeyang stood alone on the observation deck. He looked at Earth. At the brown, dying planet that was once humanity's home. Captain Hiyori found him there. Sir, you should rest. Can't rest. Too much to think about. We're going to lose, aren't we? Taeyang was quiet. Then he said, probably. But we're going to hurt them first. We're going to show them that humans don't die quietly. And maybe, if we're lucky, we'll inspire others to fight. Is that enough? It has to be. Yuri stood beside him. They watched Earth together in silence. 6 hours before the battle, Dr. Yuna distributed the combat drugs to the successor fighters. Remember, it only lasts a few hours. Use it wisely. Will it hurt afterward? Jinwoo asked. Yes, a lot. That's okay. Pain means we're still alive. 3 hours before the battle, the fleet moved into position. 47 ships spread across the solar system. Waiting. 1 hour before the battle, Taeyang addressed the fleet one last time. Whatever happens today, remember this. We are human. We don't quit. We don't surrender. We fight until we can't fight anymore. And then we fight some more. Show them what humanity means. Show them why they should have left us alone. Long-range sensors picked up the Vaxith fleet. 2,000 ships. Moving toward Earth like a dark wave, the stellar pyre was in the center. Massive. Terrible. Ready to kill a star. All ships, battle stations, Taeyang ordered. Here they come. Engineer Nari stood in the workshop staring at 2 power cores. One was from the Eternal Horizon, 1 million years old. The other came from a captured Vaxith patrol ship. Brand new by galactic standards, this doesn't make sense, she said to Dr. Minho. The scientist looked over her shoulder. What doesn't? Our reactor is more efficient. Look at these readings. The Vaxith core is bigger, heavier, and produces less energy. How is that possible? They've had 1 million years to improve their technology. Minho studied the data. Maybe they didn't improve. Maybe they went in a different direction. Over the next week, Nari and her team tore apart every piece of Vaxith technology they could find. The results surprised everyone. In some ways, Vaxith technology was incredibly advanced. Their faster-than-light drives could cross the galaxy in days. Their weapons could destroy planets, but in fundamental areas they were behind. They never developed true artificial intelligence, Nari reported to Admiral Taeyang. About 300,000 years ago, they had an AI rebellion. The machines almost won. Since then, they've banned all AI research. Everything is controlled by biological computers or simple automated systems. What about our AI? Taeyang asked. Hanul is far more sophisticated than anything they have. She can run calculations in seconds that would take their systems hours. Hanul was the fleet's master AI. She had been with them since the beginning. Her holographic form appeared in the briefing room. She looked like a young woman with kind eyes. Admiral, I've been analyzing Vaxith tactical data. Their command structure is extremely rigid. They don't adapt well to unexpected situations. Good, Taeyang said. We'll use that. Major Soren had his own discoveries to report. He stood in the training center with a group of successors. Bowman had brought them from Earth. 50 volunteers willing to learn to fight. They're good, Soren told Captain Hiyori. Really good. Once they get past the genetic pain response, they're better than human Marines. Faster, stronger, they learn quickly. How long until they're ready? For basic combat? 2 weeks. For advanced tactics? Maybe a month. But Admiral, there's something else. He showed her a video. A successor named Kyungmin was working on a damaged rifle. She touched it, closed her eyes, and somehow knew exactly what was wrong. She fixed it in minutes without looking at a manual. Genetic memory, Hiyori said. Dr. Minho mentioned it. It's more than that, Soren said. Kyungmin is an engineer. She can look at our technology and understand it instinctively. She says it feels familiar. Like remembering something from childhood. Kyungmin joined their conversation. She was young, maybe 90 years old by successor standards. Your technology speaks to something deep inside us, she explained. The first humans put knowledge in our genes. When I see your machines, part of me already knows how they work. Can you improve them? Hiyori asked. Kyungmin smiled. I can try. The raids continued. The human fleet struck like ghosts in the night. They would appear, destroy their target, and vanish before the Vaxith could respond. Supply depots burned. Communication stations went silent. Slave transport ships were liberated, their prisoners freed. The Vaxith started calling them the Phantoms of Sol. Ghost ships from nowhere. Some Vaxith soldiers started to fear them. Rumors spread. The Phantoms couldn't be killed. They could see the future. They were demons sent to punish the Empire. Good, Taeyang said when he heard the rumors. Let them be afraid. But fear only lasted so long. The Vaxith Empire was vast and powerful. They began adapting. They sent out hunter groups. They set traps. 3 times the human fleet barely escaped. Once they lost a destroyer. 30 people died. Taeyang attended every funeral. He knew every name. In the hidden base in the Kuiper Belt, Kyungmin worked with engineer Nari. Together, they created something new. Hybrid technology. Human engineering combined with successor biological systems. Look at this, Kyung-min said excitedly. She held up a small device. Human shield generator. But I've added successor biocircuitry. It's 50% more efficient, Nari tested it. The readings were incredible. We can upgrade the entire fleet with this. They worked day and night. Human and successor engineers side by side, creating weapons, building defenses, preparing for war. Dr. Yuna made her own breakthrough. She found a way to temporarily suppress the successor pain response during combat. It wasn't permanent. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. It's a drug, she explained to Bowman. It will let you fight without the genetic pain, but it only lasts a few hours, and you'll feel everything afterward. How bad? Very bad. Like your body is punishing you for breaking its rules. Bowman nodded. We'll use it. Pain later is better than death now. Commander Jisoo brought news from her intelligence network. Admiral, I've located the weapon. It's called the Stellar Pyre. It's a massive ship, heavily defended. It uses quantum destabilization to trigger fusion reactions in stars. Can we destroy it? Taeyang asked. It would take our entire fleet, and even then the odds aren't good. What about the Vaxith command structure? You said they rely on centralized control. Jisoo pulled up a star chart. Everything is controlled from Vaxith Prime, their homeworld. They use a central network for instant communication across the Empire. Faster than light quantum links. Every commander, every ship, every station is connected to it. What happens if we destroy the network? Chaos. Their entire empire would lose coordination. But Vaxith Prime is on the other side of the galaxy. We'd never reach it. Hanil's hologram appeared. Unless we don't need to reach it physically. Admiral, I've been studying the Vaxith communication protocols. They're complex, but not as secure as they think. If I could access the central network, I might be able to cause significant damage. From here, I would need a direct connection, a captured ship with access codes, or a compromised station. Taeyang thought about it. Mark it as a secondary objective. First, we need to deal with the punishment fleet. The fleet gathered in the Kuiper Belt. 47 ships, old but deadly. They hung in space like sleeping predators. Major Soren's Marines practiced boarding actions. They would capture enemy ships from the inside. It was dangerous work. Many wouldn't survive. They practiced anyway. Lieutenant Daeho and the other pilots ran combat simulations. They knew they were outnumbered 40-1. The simulations always ended in death. They practiced anyway. On Earth, Bowman's resistance grew. Thousands of successors learned to fight. They stole weapons. They sabotaged Vaxith facilities. They waited for the signal. Admiral Taeyang stood on the bridge of the eternal horizon. Through the view screen he could see Earth, still brown, still dying, but not for much longer. Admiral, long-range sensors are picking up something, Hayori said. Her voice was tight. The Vaxith fleet? Yes, sir. 2,000 ships. They'll be here in 72 hours. Taeyang activated fleet-wide communications. All ships, this is Admiral Taeyang. The enemy is coming. We knew they would. We've prepared as best we can. I won't lie to you. Most of us won't survive this fight. The odds are against us. The enemy is stronger, more numerous, better equipped. He paused. 47 ships waited for his next words. But we have something they don't. We fight for something bigger than ourselves. We fight for family, for humanity, for the children we lost and found again across 1,000,000 years. The Vaxith fight for an empire. We fight for home. He looked at Hayori, at Jisoo, at all the faces on his bridge. Good people, brave people. So when they come, we'll show them what happens when you enslave humans. We'll show them that some things are worth dying for. We'll show them that the phantoms of Sol are real, and we're bringing hell with us. On Earth, Bowman received the message. He gathered the resistance. The first humans are going to fight. They're going to die fighting for us. We're going to help them. How? Someone asked. We have no ships, no real weapons, Bowman smiled. We have 8 billion people. And the Vaxith are about to learn that even peaceful people can become dangerous when you hurt their family. The countdown began. 72 hours until the battle. 72 hours until everything changed. In her workshop, Engineer Nari completed the final upgrades to the fleet. Hybrid shields. Enhanced weapons. Better engines. It still wouldn't be enough. But it was something. Dr. Minho did the calculations one last time. Their chances of survival were less than 2%. He didn't tell anyone, everyone already knew. The reconnaissance probe moved silently through space. Lieutenant Deho controlled it from the safety of his scout ship, hidden behind one of Jupiter's moons. He watched the screen carefully as the probe approached Earth's largest orbital station. The station was huge. It held thousands of people. Through the probe's cameras, Deho could see them working. The human-looking ones did most of the labor. The reptilian aliens supervised and gave orders. The aliens wore fine clothes. The humans wore rags. Getting closer, Deho whispered to himself. He guided the probe through an open docking bay. Inside, he could see more clearly. The humans were definitely human, but different. They moved with unusual grace. Their bodies seemed stronger, more efficient. Some had subtle differences in their features. Slightly larger eyes, different skin tones that humans never had before. A guard spotted the probe. Alarm started blaring. Deho cursed and tried to fly the probe back out. Too late. An energy net captured it. His screen went black. "Admiral, they caught my probe," he reported. "I'm sorry, sir." "Not your fault, Lieutenant," Taeyang's voice came back. "Did you learn anything?" "Yes, sir. The humans down there are modified, enhanced somehow. But they're definitely human descendants, and they're definitely slaves." Back on the Eternal Horizon, Commander Jisoo worked with her intelligence team. They had been intercepting communications for days. The translator computers were slowly learning the alien language. It was called Vaxith. The aliens called themselves the Vaxith Empire. "Admiral, I have a preliminary report," Jisoo said. Taeyang joined her at the intelligence center. "Tell me." "The Empire controls 40,000 star systems. They've been in power for at least 300,000 years, maybe longer. They use slave species for labor. The humans are called successors by the Vaxith." "Successors?" "Yes, sir. According to what I've translated, the successors were created by the original humans. The first humans, they call them. Us, apparently." Dr. Minho entered the room. "Admiral, I've been studying the historical databases we captured from that probe. I need to tell you something. The truth about what happened to humanity." They moved to a private briefing room. Minho pulled up holographic displays. 800,000 years ago, a plague hit humanity. It killed slowly. It destroyed human fertility first, then killed the adults. Humanity had maybe 50 years before complete extinction. "So what did they do?" Taeyang asked. "They created the successors. Using genetic engineering, they made a new form of human. Stronger, immune to the plague, able to live for hundreds of years. They put all of human knowledge into the successors' genetic memory. Every child born would carry humanity's legacy. But they made them slaves?" Hyori asked angrily. "No," Minho said. "The first humans made them peaceful. They removed the genes for violence and aggression. They thought they were giving them a better nature, a chance to build a peaceful civilization. Instead, they made them helpless," Taeyang said. "The successors developed for hundreds of thousands of years. They built a peaceful society. They were just beginning to explore space when the Vaxith found them 200,000 years ago. The successors couldn't fight back. They didn't know how. The Vaxith took them easily." The room was quiet. "The first humans tried to save their children," Taeyang said. "Instead, they condemned them." That night, Daiho woke up to an emergency alert. "Lieutenant, report to the Admiral immediately." He rushed to the bridge, still wearing his sleep clothes. Taeyang was there with a man Daiho had never seen before. The stranger was tall, with pale blue skin and large, dark eyes. He wore torn work clothes. "Lieutenant, meet Bowman," Taeyang said. "He stowed away on your probe." "What?" Daiho stared. Bowman spoke carefully in accented but understandable English. "I learned your language from the probe systems during capture. I'm a leader of the successor resistance. When I saw your technology, I knew you were different. Old. I hoped you might be the first humans from the stories." "There's a resistance?" Harry asked. "Small. Secret. Most successors don't even know we exist," Bowman said. "We've been slaves so long most have forgotten freedom. But some of us remember the old stories. We keep the true history alive." "Tell us," Taeyang said. Bowman sat down. He looked tired. "The first humans are like gods in our memory. They created us, gave us life, then vanished. We thought they all died. For 800,000 years, we believed we were alone. Then the Vaxith came. They were so much stronger, so much meaner. We tried to be peaceful. We tried to negotiate. They just laughed and put chains on us." "How many successors are there?" Jisoo asked. 8 billion in the system alone. Billions more across Vaxith space. We're the largest slave species. Good workers live long. Don't fight back. Bowman's voice was bitter. That's going to change, Taiyang said. Bowman looked at him. You're really them? The first humans? We're humans from your past. Our fleet got lost in time. We just woke up here. Then you're not gods. You're people. Bowman smiled slightly. That's better. Gods don't fight. People do. Dr. Yuna, the fleet's medical officer, examined Bowman over the next few days. She was amazed. Admiral, the successors are incredible. They can survive radiation that would kill us. They're 3 times as strong as baseline humans. They can live for 400 years or more. And their minds are sharp. They can learn anything. But they can't fight, Major Soren said. He had been training with Bowman. It's not just culture. It's genetic. They feel physical pain when they try to hurt someone. Their creators literally removed the ability to be violent. Can it be reversed? Taeyang asked. Maybe, Yuna said. But it would take years. Maybe decades. We don't have that kind of time, Jisoo said. She brought up new intelligence. The Vaxith are mobilizing. They're hunting for the ghosts that have been raiding their supply lines. The fleet had been striking carefully, hitting supply convoys, destroying communication relays, vanishing before reinforcements arrived. The Vaxith called them phantoms. There's worse news, Jisoo continued. I decoded a priority message. The Vaxith are sending a punishment fleet to Sol system, 2,000 warships, and they're bringing a superweapon. What kind of weapon? Taeyang asked. One that can ignite a star. They plan to destroy Earth's sun, kill everyone in the system as an example. The room went cold. When? Taeyang asked quietly. 90 days. Bowman stood up suddenly. You have to leave. Take your fleet and run. You can't fight 2,000 ships with 47. We're not leaving, Taeyang said. You'll die. Probably, Taeyang agreed. But we're still not leaving. You're our children. Our responsibility. The first humans failed you once. We won't fail you again. Bowman stared at him. Tears ran down his blue-tinged cheeks. I don't understand. Why would you die for us? You don't even know us. Taeyang walked over and put a hand on Bowman's shoulder. Because you're human. That's enough. He turned to his officers. Jisoo, I want full intelligence on that weapon and the fleet bringing it. Soren, start training every successor who's willing to fight. I don't care if it hurts them. They need to learn. Hyori, I want our ships ready for the biggest battle of their lives. Minyo, find me a weakness in Vaxith technology. And me, sir? Bowman asked. You're going back to Earth. Tell your resistance that the first humans have returned. Tell them it's time to stop being slaves. Bowman smiled. It was a hard smile, a smile that promised violence. They won't believe me. Then show them this. Taeyang pulled up a video. It showed the eternal horizon destroying a Vaxith supply depot. The old human warship moved like a dancer, its weapons tearing through enemy shields. Show them that we're not gods. We're not perfect. But we're human. And humans don't abandon family, not ever, not even across 1,000,000 years. Bowman watched the video again. I'll tell them, he said. I'll make them believe. Good, Taeyang said. Because in 90 days we're going to need every person who can hold a weapon. We're going to war. Admiral Taeyang opened his eyes slowly. His head felt heavy like someone had filled it with sand. The bridge lights were too bright. He blinked several times trying to remember what happened. They were supposed to jump through faster than light space. A simple mission. 3 days to the research station near Alpha Centauri. Admiral, you're awake, Captain Hyori said. Her voice sounded strange, worried. That was unusual. Hyori never worried. Taeyang sat up in his command chair. Around him, the bridge crew was moving, checking their stations. Everyone looked confused. Report, he said. His voice came out rough. Sir, something is wrong with the navigation systems, Hyori said. She walked over to him with a datapad. The jump completed normally. All 47 ships in the fleet are accounted for. No damage, but the stars are wrong. Wrong how? They're not where they should be, sir. Taeyang stood up. His legs felt weak, but he forced them to work. He had been an admiral in the United Human Space Fleet for 15 years. He had seen strange things before. Stars didn't just move. Show me. The main view screen changed. It showed the space around them. Stars filled the darkness, beautiful and cold. But Hyori was right. Something felt wrong. The patterns were different. He had studied stellar navigation at the Academy. He knew the major constellations by heart. None of them were visible. Get me Dr. Minho, Taeyang said. The science officer arrived within minutes. Dr. Minho was a thin man with gray hair and tired eyes. He had been with the fleet since its creation. "Admiral, I've been running calculations," he said without greeting. "The computer has been analyzing the stellar positions for the past 2 hours. And, sir, according to the star positions and their relative movements, we are approximately 1 million years in the future." The bridge went silent. Someone dropped a datapad. The sound echoed. "That's impossible," Hiyori said. "I've checked the calculation 17 times, Minho replied. His hands were shaking. "The ship's chronometer says 3 days have passed. For us, only 3 days have passed. But the universe around us has aged 1 million years. Taeyang felt cold. 1 million years. Everyone he knew was dead. Earth, humanity, everything. Gone for 1 million years. "Are you certain?" "Yes, sir." "I'm sorry." The Admiral looked at his crew. They were all staring at him. Waiting. They needed him to be strong. To have answers. He had no answers. But he had to give them something. "All ships, this is Admiral Taeyang. Stand down from alert status. All senior officers report to the flagship for emergency conference in 1 hour." He walked to his ready room. The door closed behind him. Alone, he let himself feel it. The weight of 1 million years. His wife was dead. His children were dead. His grandchildren and their grandchildren. Gone to dust so long ago that even their graves had probably disappeared. He sat down and put his head in his hands. 1 hour later, the fleet's commanders filled the conference room. Some attended by video link from their own ships. All of them looked shaken. Commander Jisoo, head of fleet intelligence, spoke first. "I've had my team scanning all frequencies. There are no human radio signals, no beacons, nothing that matches our databases. The Earth could have developed new communication methods," someone suggested. "Or Earth could be gone," another officer said. "We don't know that," Taeyang said firmly. "We know nothing yet. Dr. Minho, can you locate Earth's sun from here?" The scientist pulled up a star chart. "Yes, sir. Sol has moved as all stars do, but I can calculate its current position. It's approximately 40 light years from our current position." "Then we go to Earth," Taeyang said. "Sir," Captain Hiyori said carefully, "we need to consider that humanity might be extinct. 1 million years is a long time. Species go extinct, civilizations fall." "I know," Taeyang replied. "But we have to know. We have to see for ourselves. If humanity is gone, then we are the last humans in the universe. If humanity survived, they need to know what happened to us. Either way, we go home." He looked around the room. "I won't order anyone to come with me. This is volunteer only. Any ship that wants to leave the fleet and find a safe planet to settle, you have my blessing. But the Eternal Horizon is going to Earth." No one moved. "We're all going, sir," Hiyori said quietly. "All 47 ships. The journey took 6 weeks. They moved carefully, scanning everything. The galaxy was full of activity. They detected radio signals, energy signatures, hundreds of artificial structures. Someone had been busy during the million years humans slept. Lieutenant Deho, a young reconnaissance pilot, brought the first real information. He had taken his scout ship close to a populated system. "Sir, I recorded this," he said, playing the transmission, alien voices. Complex and melodic, but the translator couldn't understand it. It was nothing like any language in their database. "Aliens," Jisoo said. "We're not alone anymore." "Looks like we never were," Minho added. "Or they evolved while we were gone. They sent stealth probes ahead. Small, quiet machines that could observe without being seen. The probes sent back images that made everyone's breath catch. Earth's sun was still there. And there were structures. Massive space stations. Ships moving between planets. Someone lived in the Sol system. Human signatures?" Taeyang asked. "Unclear, sir," Jisoo replied. "But the architectural style is similar to human designs. Evolved but recognizable." "They could be descendants," Minho said. "If some humans survived, 1 million years of evolution could change them significantly." Taeyang made the decision. "We go in quietly. Stealth systems at maximum. I want to see Earth before anyone knows we're here." The fleet crept into the outer Sol system like ghosts. Their old stealth technology worked perfectly. No one detected them. They hid among the rocks and ice of the Kuiper Belt and they looked at Earth. It was wrong. The blue was gone. The oceans were gone. Earth was brown and gray. Massive mining operations scarred the surface. The atmosphere was thin. They could see huge machines stripping the planet for resources. What happened? Hiyori whispered. Engineer Nari brought up enhanced scans. There are people down there. Millions of them. They're working the mines. Slaves, Jisoo said. Her face was hard. They're slaves. Taeyang stared at the ruined earth, at the people working on its dead surface. Get me close-up visuals on those workers. The image zoomed in. The people were human. Or close to human. Taller, thinner, stronger looking. But their faces were human faces. They wore rags. They carried tools. Armed guards watched them. The guards were different. Reptilian features. Heavy armor. Our children, Taeyang said softly. They enslaved our children. He stood up. The weight was gone. The confusion was gone. He knew what to do now. All ships, battle stations. Commander Jisoo, I want full intelligence on whoever controls this system. Major Soren, prepare the Marines. Captain Hiyori, plot firing solutions. Sir? Hiyori asked. Admiral Taeyang looked at Earth. At humanity's cradle turned into a prison. We didn't survive 1,000,000 years to watch our descendants die in chains. We're going to war,